Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Lewis Brown, Local 1000 President. Today is March 30th, 2022. As you know, tomorrow is the holiday for Cesar Chavez, so the state will be off that day. As we all know, Cesar Chavez was a great labor leader here in the, should I say, Southwest or the West Coast, and he inspired many people. And we are grateful for his presence in this country we call America. Cesar Chavez, thank you for all that you did to inspire farm workers to unite and to fight for better wages and better working conditions. Let us never forget that a union's only job, in my personal opinion, is to fight for better wages, improved working conditions, absent of bad behaving, egotistical, self-serving supervisors or bosses. All right, so we're going to get started here. As you know, it was a court trial March 25th. Last Friday, downtown Sacramento, at Sacramento Superior Court. As you know, or if you don't know, the judge upheld the temporary restraining order against me to go inside the building, and he actually put in an injunction till April 12th. I'm not sure if people realize that they're trying to do an HR 1 process on me to kick me out of the union altogether. So kicking me out of the union is one thing. Trying to kick me off the board of directors is a separate issue. Now, I know a lot of people are sad about this, and they should be, because the voice of the voters is being disrespected. As you know, I pulled down 2,637 votes, and many of you on this call may not have voted for me, but along the way, you believed in my transparency, you believed in my honesty and sincerity to ensure that we would get a quality contract on our next contract. Our current contract ends on June 30th, 2023. As I have stated repeatedly, a 21% pay increase across the board for everyone equally. Special salary adjustments will not be needed for this next contract. And because of these things that I have said, along with the fact that I said no longer are we going to support politicians, no more political spending, this has caused a great deal of headache for some people in our union who believe in supporting the status quo. Now, many times when people run for office, they say a lot of different things and they don't mean half of what they say, or any of what they say. For some mysterious reason, everything I say, people believe in. My supporters as well as those who oppose me. As you know, I suspended the 3 VPs on February 25th, but their alleged suspension of me 2 days later, on February 27th, was upheld by our Chief of Counsel, Ann Giese. So they say I didn't do it correctly, but we all know that that's politics. So where do we go from that? Where do we go from here? Do we lose hope? Do we quit on Local 1000? Do we all just say, well, if Richard's not the president, we're just going to quit and walk away? Some people have already decided to quit until they take me off suspension, return my presidential powers, and let me to continue to lead and inspire people the way I won the election. I hope those people who have quit will come back to the union and come back now versus waiting till later. We will win this, but this is not an easy fight. And so you ask yourself, why is Richard fighting these people? I'm fighting the status quo. I've been fighting the status quo since 2012 when I became an activist and became an outspoken job steward. When during that time period, Governor Brown wanted us to give up another day's pay, the 2012 POP. So I've been outspoken and fighting the system, fighting the status quo, fighting the powers to be. And as you can see, I am showing you the level of hypocrisy that resides in our union, and unfortunately within the Democratic Party, the party that I belong to. People have asked me if I could do it all over again, would I run again for Local 1000 president? And that answer would be a resounding yes, I would. People ask me if I could do things differently, would I do things differently? Would I regret fighting to ensure that you have a decision on how you control your body? If you have the decision, the authority to decide if you want to be vaccinated or not, would I make a different decision on that now, I would tell you 1,000% I would not. And I stand by the decisions I have made when I was elected and I took office on June 30th. Some people have asked me, do I regret fighting for Lassen County, fighting for the California Correctional Center, fighting for those jobs? Do I regret spending that $51,000 on the Lassen rally on August 27th, 2021? I do not regret fighting for Lassen County, fighting for people's jobs while under a signed contract. And let me add on a side note, though there's rumors that people in DMV are going to lose their jobs. If I'm your president, they're not going to lose their jobs. We're going to fight that too. No one under a signed contract should be losing their job for Local 1000. I realize that that has happened before in the past, and that's what people do when they tell you that politicians are your bosses. I have never told you that politicians are your bosses. I said this is a 50-50 relationship, a partnership between the state of California and Local 1000. Because that's what a labor leader does. That's what a labor union does. They ensure that you are protected. And that's what I did for the CCC, that prison up there in Lassen County. That's what I've done with the COVID vaccination. Remember when I had that letter sent off asking the state of California to ensure that our 640 goes to 832 for vacation hours? Because another bargaining unit has that already? Because I'm fighting for you. And I've been fighting for you since I was elected. Remember when the LAPS program had ended for job stewards on March 2020, and then when I was elected, it came right back, and it came back much faster. And I was appointing job stewards on an average of 1 per day from the time I started on June 30th up to February the 27th, 28th. Because we need a job steward on every work site. Remember all those PowerPoints that we did? That told you the history of voting in our elections, told you how we spend our money, told you about the grievance process, things that you didn't know about. All of that came under my leadership. But they tell you that I'm here to destroy the union. That I am here to cause trouble, that I am working with the Right to Work Freedom Foundation. All of these were lies, and they're still lies. The only thing I have done is fight for you, to inspire you, to ask people to become new members, or to bring back your membership. Remember, I told you we're going to bargain in good faith for our next contract, but should we reach a legal impasse and we take a strike vote and it comes back yes, we will shut down the 4th largest economy on earth. Does that sound like somebody who thinks it's just about himself? At a certain point, enough is enough. At a certain point, when you're tired of being abused and tired of being mistreated by management, you have to make a stance. You have to. There's no other way around this. And this idea that the politicians know what is best for you, that is an absolute lie. If they know what's best for you, then why do you need a union? And this is why they're doing everything they can to run me out of this union. Because they know I'm going to fight these politicians. And it's no longer going to be the same old status quo from the past. All right, it's 6:40. I spoke for 10 minutes, really quick. And so I'm going to look through the queue here to see if I see any hands raised, if anyone has any questions. And we'll do this for a little bit, and then we'll close it down for this evening. So we have a small crowd tonight, and I'm kind of really glad that we do have a small crowd. All right, does anyone have any questions? Wow, no questions. Okay, Yolanda Williams. Go ahead, Yolanda. So in the small crowd, I'm kind of really glad.
Well, I just want to know why I never received
it. Okay, so if you didn't receive an invite, I apologize. I thought I sent it out to everyone, but if I didn't send it to you, please accept my apology.
Okay, that's all I needed. Thank
You're very welcome. And you know, if people don't get an email from me by at least Monday or Tuesday of next week, then I would highly encourage you to text me so that I don't forget to make sure you get an email or a text message. Because I'm not trying to ignore anyone or single anyone out. And then also, I'd ask people to follow me on Facebook, RL Brown, because when I send out the email for this meeting, the Zoom meeting, I'll post it on my Facebook page as well. So any state employee who wants to know when my Zoom meetings are, just look at my Facebook page, RL Brown. It'll be there as well. All right, so here, let me mute everyone. Okay, so I muted everyone. All right, so does anyone else have any questions? All right, so I see Angela Morales Myers. Go ahead, please.
I can't hear you, Richard.
You can't hear
I see
me?
your mouth moving, nothing's coming out.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, Angela, go ahead.
Okay, so I've just been like really laid back and just taking everything in, and I got an invite for tonight's meeting at 6 o'clock with
Okay.
Bill Hall running it, and I've got people asking me, who is this Bill Hall? Who does he answer to? And you know, I try my best to explain to them, what's going on, but I've got different DLCs also texting me. There's a lot of people that I communicate with just because of my job and so forth. And they were starting to get wind of it, and they're like, hey, we're being told that we need to actually jump out of the union, but if that happens to me, what does that mean? I've been listening to everybody. I got on another call last week or 2 weeks ago, which I haven't got back on there because, I just feel like I was being attacked. Not here, but just, in the other meeting. But anyways, I told them that they would lose their voting rights if they weren't members already, and we need to establish a strong voting union, because that's how we get rid of people. And I told them, if you're being told, and I would say, hey, ask those people, why are they asking you to jump ship right now when we have a contract negotiation coming up? And some of those people, they're so confused, and it's just really sad because they're saying, well, if they can, and this is one person saying this, if they can do what they did to Richard, they can do that to anybody, and they'll get whatever they want, no matter how I vote, no matter what I do. There's no encouragement for me. So you explain to me how I'm supposed to move forward. And honestly, Richard, I did not have an answer, because honestly, that's true. If they could do what they did, who's to say that they can't do that to everybody? So that's kind of where I'm throwing that on your lap, because I am just at the point where I'm really, really trying to find word of wisdom,
Right.
to encourage them. So I'm going to stop there.
All right. So what I would say is this: to people who feel that way, why have they not reached out to me? Because I have an open number, 408-207-2339. That's the first thing. The second thing I would ask them is, do they know the history of this great country? Did they ever ask the European settlers when they came to America about giving up? Because the European settlers did not give up. Did they speak to the enslaved Africans when they were told they'd be slaves for life? Did they speak to women across America about them never having the right to vote initially? So when people say these things about there's nothing they can do, it's almost, in a sense, they're taking a defeatist attitude. We're called Americans. We take action. We don't take a defeatist attitude. That's why they have elections every couple years, so people can exercise their right to vote. If they feel their voice is being silenced, have they contacted their congressman? Have they contacted the state legislature? These are the questions that we. So
Yeah, I'll take all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just need. I mean, it's not that I need anything. I just the very crucial thing about this whole movement that's going on is we just need to be paying attention and start voting and doing our due diligence. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people wanting to do great things, and I applaud them, you know. But in order for us to be strong, we need to be also, I mean, and I feel this way strongly, and I always tell people, you know, I do tell them don't give up. I take a back seat, but I tell them don't give up. This too will pass. You know, it's just temporary before, you know, there's always going to be a hard storm before the calm winds and the calm everything comes. But right now, it just, you know, it doesn't, for some people, but, you know, luckily we have you still that we can come to where they don't have that. But I have told them I've got a couple of email addresses, and I told them if you want to participate, I'm going to send you the email and the Zoom link. And you know what? You see for yourself. You go on either one.
Right.
I don't care. You just decide.
So,
but anyways,
right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And let me say this too. When people are asking who this Bill Hall is, Bill Hall is a DLC 744 president. He ran unopposed. He's run unopposed in many elections and has not received not one single vote. I would say 80% of his DLC doesn't even know who he is. And so by him, quote, believing he's the chair and he has all the powers of the president, what they've done is they've done something illegal. And this is going to come out. But it's going to take some time. Someone's asking, you know, what is my expectations for the April 12th HR meeting against me? They're going to try to kick me out of the union, take away my membership. It's just that simple, just that quick. So you said, well, what are you doing to fight this, Richard? I've asked people to send me money through the Cash App. They can always text me from my Cash App, 408-207-2339. Some people asked me, was I defeated from last Friday? No, I'm not defeated. But there's more to come. All right, next caller, Kobe McFadden. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry. It should have been Cherish, and then it's Kobe. So go ahead, Cherish, and then I go to Kobe.
Sorry, Cherish.
That's okay, guys. Hello, everybody. I just want to say what I've been doing that I think would be beneficial. Every day we should be calling the MRC and noting for the record that we do not consent and that we oppose with the actions against Richard Brown. So that's an easy thing you can tell your co-workers to do. Just call the MRC and document for the record that you oppose. Number one. Number two, also document for the record that you do not consent to them using our union dues to fight our own president that we elected. And if the more that we do that, the more of us that at least just say those two things, it takes literally maybe 10 minutes of a phone call. A person can do it on their break. And this is something we can encourage all of our coworkers to do. Second, emails. If a person doesn't have 15 minutes on their break, tell them email. Email your opposition. I would CC Hall, Anika Wallace, whatever, all three of them, and the lawyer too, and just inform them that we do not consent. Because if they continue to parade this victory and nobody stops and says, "Hey, we don't consent," it's assumed consent. We were allowing it to happen; nobody's opposing it, so we have to speak up and oppose it. Those are the things that I think that would be beneficial right now. And then I just want to thank you, Richard, for everything that you're doing. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart, for the future of California, for freedom, for liberty, for everything that all of our veterans and past ancestors have fought for. You are right now at a pivotal moment taking that battle, and you're leading us in it. And thank you. And so anything we can do to support you, yeah, we're here. And just remember that always. Thank you so much.
Well, no, thank you, Cherish, for calling in. I deeply appreciate all your support and encouragement. All right, so we'll go to the next caller, Kobe McFadden.
Hi, Richard. Good evening.
Good evening.
Let me ask you a quick question. I thought this call was just for a certain few of us. Is it open to everybody?
Well, it's open to everyone. you know, and I know some people have very strong opinions about some of the people who come on this call because they're saying they're coming on to be disruptive and everything. So I don't believe in censorship.
Well, no, I'm just asking
Right.
to make sure that I didn't, because there are people on here that should not be on here. So that's why I was asking.
So, and I'm glad you brought that up. And so here's what I'll say. If you have something that you want to tell me that's that important that you feel you should call and tell me, then feel free to do that. I've never censored people. I try to keep the peace with people. As you know, I'm live on Facebook. So what a lot of people do is if they don't want to watch me live where I can watch them at the same time, then they'll come back later on my Facebook page and watch it later. So, you know, I always tell people, you know, whatever you say is what you say, but stand by what you say. And, you know, let's keep in mind, if we were bargaining with the state of California and we were in a strategy session, we wouldn't talk our strategy online. We just wouldn't do that. So,
Well, no, I agree. I'm just wondering for this one because I do see a couple on here, and I thought that this was just for us to talk right now strategically. But then when I got
Right.
I do have the notifications about you going live,
right.
and so I already knew it said you went live, and I was thinking, wait a minute, I thought this meeting was just for us. So I was just a little bit concerned. That's all.
Oh, no. Right.
But if you're okay with everybody being on there, then that's fine.
Well, listen. If people want to do a special Zoom with me that's not live, where they want to discuss some things they don't want to talk about in front of everyone else, then that's fine. I've never stopped people from doing that. This is Wednesday night. Local 1000 listens to you. I haven't changed anything. The only thing that you've seen people do since I've been elected, you've seen people's true colors come out. But I've stayed consistent. Consistent since 2012. And so, you know, what we talk about tonight, I'll talk about with anyone because I'm not lying or I don't have anything to hide. My videos go up on Facebook. They go up on my website, createexcellence7437.com. They go up on my YouTube channel, Richard Lewis Brown. See, I'm not afraid of these people. And this is why they're trying to run me out of the union. Because as the days grow on, you're going to find out that everyone that says they're for you, they're not for you. And this truth will come out. Now, currently, the court system says, well, we believe in the other side. We don't necessarily believe in you, Richard. You can always come back to us later down the road if you feel that you haven't been treated correctly. A lot of stuff's going to come out on a lot of people. And so I'm being patient because I knew that we have to go through this war to clean up our union. So, all right, with that being said, I'm going to go to the next caller, Joshua Guile. Go ahead, Joshua. Joshua.
Hey, good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
I just wanted to say thank you, and I've kind of been out of the loop a little bit, but I had to have some dental procedures and stuff done, so I've been recovering for the last couple of weeks. So I've been I got an email the other day talking about, from NCIU, talking about a big win that they had in court on Friday, and so
Right.
I'm glad I was able to get on tonight. So I just kind of want to get kind of brought up to speed and stuff, and
So,
just kind of see what
Right.
you're doing, how you're doing.
oh, I'm doing just fine, Joshua. Listen, the big win that they're touting is that the judge upheld their TRO and he actually put an injunction against me to April 12th. So, from the Local 1000 side, from those, as I call it, the insurrectionists, those who are trying to, quote, enact their coup against me, it is a great victory for them. Now, what they didn't tell you is the people who came to court, including myself, who wanted to testify, were not allowed to testify. Now listen to this. The judge is supposed to be unbiased, Judge Stephen Gerbisher, but he didn't allow myself or those who came to support me to testify. Now that's a silence of the voters. And here's the funny thing. Some of those people who were coming to testify did not vote for me in the election. But the judge did not allow people to testify. But the email they sent out didn't tell you that part. So they'll tell you what they want you to know. Remember now, Remember when they were accusing me of being at the day spa? Come to find out they were the ones at the day spa. All the things that they said about me, when you do a deep, deep analysis, they're the ones at fault, not me. Remember with the lawsuit with Bill Hall, he said that, paying off of the building, the 6.3 million, paying off the buildings, that was a great financial malfeasance, and who told him to do that and this and that. You wait till all the truth comes out on this. Now you're probably wondering, why don't I just run out like I always do and just run my mouth and just give it to people and tell them everything? You probably been wondering that.
No, I'm not wondering that. Like the gentleman before said, and like you said, we don't want to put all of our plans out there. I do think that
Right.
that we need to do some things to kind of help organize and people to get behind you.
Well, some people have gone to my website, createexcellence7437.com, and donated on my website. Some people are doing Cash App. I was represented last Friday. That was fantastic. But, the attorney was basically doing out of the kindness of his heart. But he has bills to pay. So, currently I don't have an attorney. And so people are asking, will I have an attorney by April 12th or the next time I go to court? Oh, I don't know. So some people are really troubled by that.
I've got the number to 4 attorneys that I would like to get to you, and so maybe I'll just
Sure, text me.
private message
Yeah,
you guys.
text me at 408-207-2339. And a lot of people have asked, and so let's just answer this question. Why has it taken so long for me, or why is it so hard for me to get an attorney? This is politics. And when you go up against Local 1000, you go up against SEIU International in DC, and you go up against Gavin Newsom, the current governor of the state of California, some attorneys don't have the testicular fortitude to do that. Some of them don't have faith in their abilities to do that. Some of them are looking for easy paydays. Some of them don't, believe that a union should be able to fight for its people without being involved in politics. But I want you to think about this. Can you imagine if Local 1000 had fought this hard to enforce the contract where we would have lost 2 days of pay for fiscal year 2021? Can you imagine if they had taken all this courage of their convictions to fight this current governor to enforce our contract and protect our wages and get great attorneys to help them do this, but yet they've gone out and got other attorneys to fight me, to get me out of here. You've never seen this in Local 1000 history. And I told people, I said, you'll never find a leader like me ever again. You said, well, you sound kind of arrogant when you say that. No, I know when I've been sent to accomplish a righteous mission based on righteousness to help those in need, regardless of your color, your race, your sexual orientation. I know when I've been sent. What they're trying to do is break my will and therefore break your will and destroy all hope. That's what they're attempting to do. More importantly, my faith in God through Jesus Christ is being tested in front of everyone. So I did all that talk about my faith in God and blah, 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 blah. But now I have to show it. I have to exercise it. And everyone is watching, the believers and the non-believers. And so when I, quote, beg people to not quit the union, this is what I'm doing. This is what I am doing. And I'm being tried by evil forces to give up. They're doing everything they can to make me give up.
Well, sir, change doesn't change until it's changed. And, light, we are the light of the world. And when you, for instance, this light right here, if you held this in a dark room and the light is projected up against the wall, there's no shadow that's going to go past it. because darkness can't defeat the light. So I just wanted to let you know to continue to be the light, because
Oh, thank
darkness
you.
is not going to be able to pass through that. And as long as God goes before you,
Mm.
there's nobody that can be against you.
You-
So I just wanted you to know that I'm here to support you. You have a lot of people here that support you, and I just wanted to thank you for all your effort and appointing me as a steward. I appreciate that. And I'm doing the best as I can, and I appreciate it. So I just want to say thank you, and whatever I can do, you just let me know. And if I didn't have all this major stuff done to my face
Right.
lately, I'd be able to donate to you. But right
Oh,
now,
don't-
I'm just in a
listen.
financial hardship, but I appreciate it.
Listen, Joshua, first of all, thank you for your support. I'm glad you're a job steward. We need job stewards at every work site. You know, I've told a few people this, and then I'm gonna go to the next person in the queue. If it is the will of the righteous, if it's the will of God that they have to remove me, then let God's will be done. If that is His will. See, here's where I run myself into problems. I address racism and prejudice as a black man in this country. That runs me into problems. But I embrace my blackness. I embrace how my ancestors came to America. I don't run from the problem, I embrace the problem. Other problem I'm having is when God gave me the dream, and I pray to God through Jesus Christ, and I get the dream that I'm going to win the election. That doesn't make me a super righteous person, or I'm better than someone else, or that my God is better than your God, Joshua. What I'm doing is I'm acknowledging how I got here. Yeah, did I have some strategy? Sure. But at the end of the day, God's the trump card. He dictates how it's going to go down. And if it is God's will that I'm removed from office, kicked out of the union, and the voice of the voters is silenced for this period of time, well, then I have to accept it. Now, I know that you and others cannot accept that. And that is your single decision, because I can't control your emotions and your thoughts. But I have to accept what God says. Have I made great decisions in my life? No. But here's what I do know. When it comes to leading and inspiring people, Bill Hall, Annika Walls, David Jimenez, Irene Green, and anyone else who thinks they can out-talk me to out-inspire, forget it. You and I know this. They can't inspire you. What they can do is mislead you and deceive you and trick you and bamboozle you and lead you astray. Because I'm not trying to be judgmental. I'm just telling you from my personal opinion, that's what they were created for. But I wasn't created for confusion. I was created to inspire, to fight for people, to get a certain sum of money for a period of time absent of a bad working condition, and to enforce a contract. That's what I was created to do. That's what I'm doing. And this is why they're coming after me. And when I act and I talk with that passion that they call is rage and I'm out of control and I'm the angry black man. No. What I'm doing is I'm fighting for your money, Joshua. I'm fighting for everyone's money equally across all the job occupations, all 735 of them, not just for certain job occupations. And you remember, they told you the only time Jesus copped the attitude was when he was throwing the money handlers out of the temple. And that's what I'm doing here at Local 1000. I'm throwing the money handlers out of Local 1000. And that's why they got to get me up out of here. And I've always told people, I said, I know deep in my heart that the 3 VPs could never work with me. And I know that there's a number of people on that board who can never work with me because they're thieves. Not just in their ability to want to chase money and hobnob with politicians, but they're thieves in the fact that they mislead people. And they tell you that they're doing this for you, when in all actuality, it's for their own selfish desires. And I'm not judging them. I'm just telling you who they are, because that's how they were created. But I wasn't created for that. We all have our demons that chase us. Some people have the lying demon. Some people have the stealing demon. Some people have the lustful demon. We all have these different demons that chase us. But what I'm telling you tonight, Joshua, maybe you have to blow a horn. I'm put here for a reason. And every day I have to just say, hey, listen, God, I asked to be the president, but now I got to accept all this hatred that's coming my way. But at the end of the day, God still controls this pace. And I'm willing to accept what God says. The court system, the people in the union who think that they're winning and they're going to destroy me, at the end of the day, we're going to find out how God feels about this. And that's how it's going to work. But I will keep working and fighting. All right. Next caller, DLC 772, President Mary Dela Cruz. Go ahead, Mary.
Hi, good evening, Richard. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Number one, I had a couple of questions. Number one, in the workplace, they're sending out bringing people from the telework, having people sign a telework policy. I know that was a negotiation. So did we come to a resolution on that?
No, we did not. And so,
Because the work,
right.
go ahead.
No. And since they know that I'm, quote, suspended, CalHR is going to do all kinds of things to get people to sign documents that they shouldn't sign. Because they know that the president of Local 1000, who's been fighting CalHR and fighting the state of California since June 30th, he is not going to buckle. So if you think about this suspension, who does it really help? Forget that it, quote, gives Bill Hall the illusion that he's in power and he's the president as the chair, and he gives the three VPs the illusion that they're all working together when they're not. But who does my suspension help most of all? Gavin Newsom and CalHR, yes. And SEIU International, because they want to donate money to Newsom for his election this year, in the primary and the general in November. So as long as I'm removed out of the picture, now he doesn't have to worry about me asking him for the essential worker premium pay that Yolanda Williams demanded that I do on 2 different occasions. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, my secondary question, and this is kind of, I think it might have been Joshua who mentioned that he had received, and I did see the email that was sent out by SEIU, that we had a victory. Now, I might be a little bit confused.
Right.
But how is it that when you rob the member's voice and vote, how do they call that a victory?
Well, wait a minute. When a small group of people from Local 1000, when they put in their coup and the court system supports their coup, that is a victory for them. Because what that is a victory for the status quo. And so that is a victory. That's a major victory for them.
Oh,
So
it is the word self-righteous victory then. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah, well, actually, let's call it correctly, President De La Cruz. It's a self-righteous victory along with the underscore that hypocrisy happily resides in Local 1000. That's what you have to add in there, the hypocrisy of it all. Because these same people, and I'm going to tell you, every single one of these people will tell you to respect the victory of Gavin Newsom and respect the election victory of Joseph Biden. But yet, these same people will never, ever respect the victory of Richard Lewis Brown for Local 1000 president in May of 2021.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Because I heard conversation that there's attorneys that are present, like at your last court event thing. Where are those funds for those attorneys coming from? Are those member dues?
Well, DLC 744 President Bill Hall says that he's paying for his Chris Kassenbach, a Yale attorney. Let me say that for you again, because I know there's a lot of people on here. Bill Hall, DLC 744 President, who ran unopposed, he did not receive not one single vote in 2021 or 2018 or 2015, and most likely 2011 either. He is somehow off a photographer's salary, or maybe he's taking pictures on the side, I don't know. He's paying for a Yale attorney. They say that Chris Kassenbach is a Yale attorney. That's what he says. Now, the attorneys for Local 1000 that are coming from International, well, we're paying for that because remember, we pay International $688,000 a month to carry their name, carry out their political agenda, and to wear their colors purple and gold. That's not our colors, purple and gold. That's their colors. And that's why when people were criticizing me from day one I took office about why don't I wear purple, I can't wear purple over the fact that my conscience tells me that that's wrong. Purple is something that royalty wears. Royalty wears purple. That's what kings and queens wear, purple. But when you're true, it's always orange and blue. Orange for the sky, for the beautiful sun that God created, and for that blue sky that it sits in. That's true. So Bill Hall is saying that he's paying for Chris Castleback, the Yale attorney. Local 1000 is using International through their attorneys. And then International is using another high-priced attorney here in Southern California. So they got 3 sets of attorneys. So you say, well, Richard, do you have 3 sets of attorneys? No, I don't have 3 sets of attorneys. I had attorneys that was helping me protect the union and protect me from this illegal lawsuit that Bill Hall has filed against me because I was the choice of the voters. But when they suspended me, the 3 VPs thought it was the wisest thing to make sure I didn't have no attorneys so they could silence my voice. And by silencing my voice represents all those voters who put me in the office. But more importantly, my voice also represents those who realize that Richard is true. And now I have your support, Mary, and I have support of many others who did not vote for me in this election. But once you met me and other people who didn't vote for me met me and they heard my 10-point platform, they said, you know what, Richard, we can work with you. That's where these ideas of getting rid of me had to really come together much faster. So even though they were talking about getting rid of me, which you already acknowledged, the day that I won on May 24th, they were already talking in the month of May, at the end of May, on how to get rid of me. But your money and my money is being used for these attorneys to, quote, take away your voice and take away the voice of voters. That's what your money is being used for. Now, in their minds, they're saving the union. But that is not the truth because they've lied. And they've gone on Facebook and said repeatedly that I'm working with the Freedom Foundation, the right to work. That's an absolute lie. That is an absolute lie. But they kept saying it until they could pollute the air full of smog and toxic waste. And by gathering all that energy, they were able to convince some other people, new members on the board, new DLC presidents, that they were right, that they had to remove me. And we know, Mary, that that is the absolute lie. I was never working with the Freedom Foundation. I was never part of the right to work. I am pro-labor, not pro-politics, pro-labor. Sometimes if you say you're pro-union, that can mean that you're believing and being involved in politics. When you say you're pro-labor, that means you're for workers' rights. Not a livable wage. They've been teaching you, Irene Green, Annika Waz, David Jimenez, Bill Hall, and all these other so-called Local 1000 leaders. They tell you about a livable wage. Poor people live day to day because they're living day to day off a livable wage that keeps them in the poorhouse. When you're in the union, Mary, you're supposed to have a substantial pay increase on every contract. That's why you pay money to the union. Because you're a union member. Therefore, you have substantial wages. You don't live day to day. So you can save your money and put your children through college if they choose to go. Because you're pro-labor. But they don't tell you things, and they'll never tell you this in these future SBACs. They'll never tell you this on their calls tonight or their calls last night. The things I say to you, Mary, these people can't copy me fast enough. And when they copy me, they'll say it, but you'll know the truth of God is not in them. Because you'll feel that spirit. The things I say and do, when I say, inspire the impossible. And that slogan came to me a few weeks ago when my mind was racing because my mind was telling me that evilness is coming. They're coming to destroy me. Inspire the impossible. And when E.B. Lynch said, I am Local 1000, that was a beautiful slogan because it reminded me, there's a hardware store back in St. Louis, Johnson's Hardware. It's not really a hardware store, but it was my, boy. It was my mother's only friend, Mrs. Johnson. She captured my heart. I would say she put a tie on it and made it look beautiful when people couldn't accept me. The slogan from many years ago, we are Local 1000 from Johnson Hardware Store. And when E.B. Lynch said, I am Local 1000, and when DLC 768 President Cheryl Allen said, saving our union's life, do you have soul? Notice how all those slogans come to me when I said create excellence. Therefore, inspire the impossible. And what we're going through, we have to inspire the impossible to get through this. But all these people are around me. And to Mrs. Johnson, God rest her soul. We will inspire the impossible, Mary. That's what we will do. I didn't mean to get off subject, but it just touched my heart. Go ahead, Mary. Is she still there? Okay. So, today is today is March 30th. Today was payday for many of us. Tomorrow is Cesar Chavez Day. I believe in my heart he was sent. And God forgive me, I forgot his his slogan that he would say. But I know he inspired many people. I want people to understand something. Even though the first court victory went to Local 1000 on March 25th, and the temporary restraining order became an injunction to April 12th, and even though they're trying to kick me out of the union, they're hiring a neutral officer, I didn't approve that. See, all these things they're doing since February 27th, one day will be ruled invalid. All of this is going to be ruled invalid. The chair position, that's an invalid position. Their suspensions, invalid. The things that the chief counsel, Ann Giese, has done, it's all going to catch up to them. Oh, there it is. Si puede. I don't speak Spanish, but thank you. Thank you for putting that up there. And I think that says, yes, we can. Wow. It's funny that he said that because, I think Barack Obama in 2008 was saying, yes, we can. Now, here's the great thing about Cesar Chavez. He believed in what he was doing. And they tried to silence his voice, but he would not quit. That's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to silence your voice. We're not going to quit. And listen how I said that. Everyone wants me to not quit, so I can continue to inspire you. But this is the first time where I said, we won't quit. We won't quit. We're going to inspire the impossible. And I know all these tricks that are being played against me. And just because I don't say it openly on Facebook Live and on a Zoom meeting, doesn't mean that, I see Jerry Lee Fisher. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean that I'm not aware of what's going on. And so when I said in 2018, don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling, this is an amazing journey that we're on, and people laughed at me, and I said, hey, don't you ever laugh at don't stop believing. Because the last time I checked, that journey, don't stop believing, with open arms, faithfully, majestic, for the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Last time I checked, that journey is in the Hall of Fame. And what we're trying to do and what we will do, we will make it to the Hall of Fame. But it's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. Now, a lot of people have asked me, will you do podcasts? I absolutely will do podcasts. Some people have gotten mad at me because I've gone on Fox News. Let me tell you something. When you know that what you stand on is righteous and it's on righteousness, you're not afraid to go on Fox News. You're not afraid to go on CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN. Because what I say is the gospel truth, the righteous truth. It's not the truth for the Democrats. It's not the truth for the Republicans. It's not the truth for the independent. I'm telling you righteously that I am here to serve you. And I'm not here to take your money. I'm not here to manipulate you. I'm telling you this because I was sent here. Now, I'll go on any podcast. I'll go on any TV show. Anytime DLC 744 President Bill Hall wants to do a debate with me, the president of Local 1000, any of these VPs think they have the courage of their convictions to do a live Facebook, Zoom debate with me, you'll see the truth come out. And you will see them fold like a cheap tent that came from a anti-union establishment, Walmart. I sure did. And I know many of you, off your livable wage, shop at Walmart so you can take care of your family. I understand that because you never was taught about a substantial pay increase. All right. At 7:23, at 7:24, because 24 and 7 is 31 for 31 days in a month for the month of March, I'm going to stop talking. And we're going to end this at 7:24 this evening. It's funny. I think a lot of people thought I wouldn't do a call tonight. They didn't think I had it in me. See, I can take a punch. What I would like to know is, can we take a punch together and punch back? Not with violence, not with rage. We're not slapping no one's face. What I'm saying is, can we punch back with love and dedication and determination? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Now, people text me all the time at 408-207-2339. Continue to do that, and I'll continue to answer you. I am Richard Lewis Brown. Today is March 30th, 2022. Local 1000 listens to you. You make it a great night, and we'll see you next Wednesday night. And I'll send out the Zoom. All right. Love everyone. Mwah. Have a good night.